Good morning. Today I'm going to read from the book You Get to Choose You, The Best You, that I wrote. I'm going to read chapter 4, Ego. Oh, the places you will go with ego. What is ego? So for me, I call it ego because to me, it is edging good out. Ego, at one time, they kept us safe, but somehow managed to keep us fearful, hopeless, depressed, anxious, angry, in pain, the thoughts and feelings that keep us living the same life over and over again. It keeps you safe. Don't move. Don't take that chance. Don't do that thing. It even reminds you of the last time you did that thing and got in trouble for it. Reminds you of your limitations, keeps you upset and limited, keeps you fearful and hopeless. It is all the voices, thoughts, and feelings that you have been listening to your whole life. It It is the one who keeps you complaining, criticizing, finding fault, blaming, shaming, and it is you who chooses. No, you don't realize you are choosing it, but you are, just like you chose your thoughts, your stories, as mentioned in chapter 1. We all have chosen to listen to ego. It is you who chooses ego over love, happiness, and gratitude. And it is you who gets to choose this every day. For so long you have settled for ego. For so long you have allowed ego to choose who you are and your habits. It has reminded you over and over about your mistakes and how bad you are. It has reminded you about all those who have hurt you and all the reasons you have to be miserable. You are a bad child, and that is why your parents don't want to come to your concert, graduation, or sports day. Your siblings don't like you, and that is why they said that. Try to fit in and be good. Don't break the rules. Don't misbehave. Just some of the things ego will tell you. Oh, the places you will go when you choose ego. And yes, like everything, it is always our choice. I never understood what ego was. For the longest time, I lived thinking this was just who I was. I didn't know that a lot of what I thought about myself was because I listened far too much to ego. It reminded me of all the things I had to feel guilty about. Even the things I did as a small child reminds us about everything we have done wrong and those we may have hurt. You are lazy, weak, and don't have a clue are just some things we will hear from the voices trying to shame us. Panic and frustrate put to shame us, panic and frustration put in just to keep us in place. It finds fault with everyone else as well, so you can shame them too. Ego reminds us of how imperfect we are, and if we are, we need to make sure everyone else is too. Our parents, our siblings, our children, our partner or spouse, friends, co-workers, and even people we don't know. Everyone is fair game when it comes to ego. It doesn't stop at people, though. Let's look at government, schools, healthcare, religion, and banks. All are to blame when it comes to ego. Ego takes all the good out of everything, creating chaos and drama wherever it goes. It makes mountains out of anthills every chance it can. Who didn't do the dishes? Who ate my food? Who parked in front of my house? Who is using my stuff? Who is at fault this time? It doesn't really care. Anyone will do when it comes to ego. So many things I have gotten upset over. My silliest, so many things I have gotten upset over. The silliest things that I thought were so very big and important at the time, but in fact, they were not important at all. And the more I realized what ego is, the more I am able to control it. For if I don't have control over it, it has control over me. Ego has its way with us and pretends all the silly things are important and true. It makes us forget about the good and creates even more bad, even if they are just made up stories, like the things that could have gone wrong and the things that could have happened. We allow this when we are so angry with something or someone. We do this when we have no control over our own thoughts and feelings. When we became upset with our parents for how they raised us, and we listened to ego's stories about all the bad things they did and didn't do, or the things that could have happened or should have happened, the list goes on and on. Ego forgets the good and makes sure you keep thinking of all the bad. Yes, I know there are many really bad things that some people do, but for ego, all is bad, because for ego, even a parent who had tried has not tried hard enough. Even a loving parent has made mistakes. Even a kind and compassionate parent has failed in some way. Ego feels hurt, broken, and empty, saying, it was this person or that person who has created this. It is your job, your career, your car, the things you ate. It's your clothing or your hair, home or things you once loved that will be to blame. If it was better, we wouldn't feel this way. If we had better friends and family, a better job, better car, home, clothes, and hair, doesn't really matter what it is, everything and everyone is a target for ego. Oh, the places we will go with ego on our side. I know for me, this was a wake-up call when I first heard about ego and what it was, so much so that I began paying attention to ego's thoughts, my thoughts of the negative, complaining, blaming, and even though I thought I had it all figured out, oh, ego did not give up. Ego is tricky and wants to play lead. so I had forgotten many times to pay attention to me. I would again allow ego back into my life and began slipping back from where I was working on letting go and letting go the me I was trying to outgrow. To let go of your ego, you must know who you want to be. You must be so sure and true to who it is you are working on becoming, and allow nothing to stop you, not even ego. Ego loves to show you all the things that trigger you, all the wrong and unjust in the world, and the things that should matter to you. Like when you have a difference of opinion from someone else, but your opinion is correct and theirs is not. A great example of this is COVID. It hit the entire world and everyone had their own opinion of it. Ego was so very pleased. It had everyone against everyone and broke up many friendships and families. Ego edged good out. It happened so many times in life, like with the election, and everyone thinks the person they want in office is the better person, or in relationships where you are feeling less than and you blame it on the other person. We have a tendency to make others responsible for us feeling not enough, but it isn't them, it is us. And maybe the thing that is bothering us is something that has always happened, but now ego makes it that much more important. Now, ego isn't separate from us. It isn't outside of us. It is just a habit thought we have created to help us remember to not hurt ourselves, like when we touched something hot and we got burned. But it got stuck on this mode. It then became a choice, one that we are thinking, and just as easily as we have created it, we can create a better habit, a good thought of good thoughts and feelings, and allow them to flow and let go of the bad. We really have no control over anything other than us. So learn to let go and choose who we truly want to be. Choose good thoughts. Choose to be kind. Choose to accept. Choose happiness. Choose love, and allow these feelings. They sure feel better. Once you know what ego is, and by now I hope you do, it will get easier to let go of it one step at a time. Your thoughts, your responsibility. You don't need to listen to ego. You don't need to allow those thoughts and feelings. You don't need to be fearful, angry, shameful, embarrassed, doubtful, anxious, or anything that does not feel good to you. And when you realize you are in control of you and your ego is not, you choose you. You get to choose, so choose love, choose good, choose you. It is all up to you and who you are preferring to be. Let go of ego and begin choosing you. That was chapter 4, Ego, from You Get to Choose You, The Best You by Joan Nielsen. Available on Amazon.